got all kind of stuff happening today. So this is my buddy Adam from Up and Adam. What do we got here today, Adam?
Well, we got a roller.
I was gonna rent one, and Adam was kind enough to say, hey, I'm not using this one for a little bit.
Yeah.
And you brought it down. What kind is that, a case?
It's a case, yep. It's I have no idea how old it is, but I had one job a few years ago that I needed to rent one. And it was a pretty good sized driveway the guy wanted done. And I found this, and it was almost cheaper to buy this than go rent one, especially just to have it. And it's been a good machine. It's older. What I found is a problem is getting parts for it.
Yeah.
So this was made by JCB back in the day. And what's the equipment dealer there on 420? It used to be Walsh.
Walsh used to be Walsh, yeah.
That's the local case dealer. And so I went there, and like they have very little information on this machine because it was made for case by JCB across the pond at the time. And anyhow, that's been the downfall to it. So so some things are hard to find for it. That's the throttle cable's broke on it. You run it with a bungee cord right now. I'll show you that here in a little bit, but you can't order a throttle cable for it.
Yeah. And
I'm gonna improvise something, either a PTO cable or something, you know. But
you know what's nice about that size roller? They're kind of hard to find, but whatever you bought it for, if you keep it running, in 15 years you can sell it for that, if not more.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? You can't get hurt on them.
Yeah. No, it's been it's more than paid for itself now. You know what I mean? And it's just nice to have around home too. If you straighten up your driveway, or I have a bad habit of driving through my yard. Everybody's seen my house and how much stuff I have around. Like I drive through the yard, and you put a rut in the yard, that's my lawn roller too.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
And it works well. So I'll keep it around till it has something detrimental happen to it. It has a Deutz diesel in it. It's air cooled. And
air cooled, yeah. I don't see a radiator on it.
Yeah, and I have this with a Deutz in it, and I have a man lift with a Deutz diesel. I really like their engines. It starts up good, runs good.
Nice.
So it ought to serve your purpose here well. You know, and there's no hurry on getting it back, because it's one of those things that you use, you know, few times a year. And
but when you need it,
you need it. You need it. Yep. And so it can be here, and then you can take your time with doing whatever you got to do, and let me know when you're done with it, and I'll come back and get it. So
that's awesome. All right, man. We'll get unloaded here.
Okay.
I'll tell you what, this thing is worth its weight in gold. That is awesome. Works really, really well. It's got both like a high frequency and a low frequency. You run it in high, it vibrates faster. Low, it feels like it's gonna knock the fillings out of your teeth. So I run it in high. But I just made one pass out and one pass back. And what I'm trying to do is kind of pound this base rock down in a little bit, and it's working out perfectly. Got another load of stone coming in a few minutes, and rain coming in a few hours. So this morning, I was running this thing right here. I rented this to do some gutter work. I had to seal some stuff up on the roof around the skylights and clean out the gutters. I had a few maple trees growing in there, but I tried renting a smaller one and they didn't have one, so they gave me this one at the same price, and it worked out really, really well. But I had a few hiccups with it. I'll let Melissa explain what went on here. What happened with this?
Well, that's a good question to ask you. Mike can figure out any piece of equipment. He can run it just like that. It's actually mind-blowing to myself, but I heard him in this thing, and
the driver, like, here, I'll show you this. I'm like, yeah, I'm good. You know what I mean? I'm good. Then it ended up took me a half hour to get it started.
yeah, it kind of took me back to when we were out in Moab and we rented those
Razor.
that razor, and you're like, Psh, I know what I'm doing. Just, you know, point me in the right direction. And then we get on this trail, and I'm like, oh, are you sure
I know.
we're supposed to be here? But I heard him saying some things in this, and I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna ignore him. And then I'm like, finally, I'm like, do you know what you're doing? And he's like, it took me 20 minutes to start it and figure it out.
There's so
it's like
many.
doing a Rubik's Cube and a crossword puzzle at the same time.
Yeah.
And you don't have enough hands, and yeah.
And there's so many safety features built in, which
is understandable.
Yeah, it's understandable. So you have to stand on this pedal
Right.
to activate anything. But this thing literally has onboard power. It has onboard air for an air compressor. It does everything. But I noticed over here in the yard, if you get off just a little bit, it won't let you raise anything up. You definitely need to run it on flat ground. I was over on the concrete all morning with it, but way better than a ladder. And this thing is so long.
Yeah.
The tires in the back are what steer, so you're driving it from up here. You really got to pay attention, because one little turn back there equals one real big turn out here. You know what I'm saying?
And
But
he had me watching. He's like, watch the back, that I don't, like the way he was maneuvering on the concrete towards the house, that I don't hit the basketball hoop or that little picnic table that he already once hit with a tractor. Do you remember that video?
yeah,
But I was watching that part, but then he's like, well, watch up here, because then, like,
I almost put this
part
through Eva's bedroom window
is,
right
like,
here.
real close to the house, and I'm like, I don't want this responsibility.
Yeah. But I will say, so much, I'm done with those ladders. I'm done with that stuff. I gotta tell you a story.
Oh boy.
So years ago, we were staining the house, which is cedar. I love wood. Another dumb thing I did with that house when we built it. I didn't know any better. I probably had to stain that house 5 times over the years.
I would say about 5, yeah.
Well, probably 15 years ago, on the gable end, I had 2 extension ladders and a pick across them, and then an 8-foot step ladder on the pick to get to the peak. And your dad was actually helping me. He was down on a lower ladder, and he's like, what's shaking? And it was my knees shaking up there on that step ladder. And it was at that point I said, I'm done. It either doesn't get stained, or I rent a man lift, because these are the only way to go. I'm not a big fan of heights, but if I'm in control, I don't have any problems with it. Like, I could walk along the edge of a cliff. That doesn't bother me. But when I'm not in control of the situation, I don't like heights. And when I'm on a very high ladder or a pick, I just don't feel that I'm in control, you know? I don't know, I don't like it. This, I like a lot. These are super expensive. One of those things you just rent as needed, and you go that route. But definitely a lot better to spend the money than end up hurt bad or worse.
Yeah.
But maybe when this load of stone comes, he'll be here any minute. We'll get that dumped. Actually, I'm going to spread some stone, but if this is still here when I'm done before the rain, I'll show you how to run this thing. It may help someone out if they ever rent one. But I got this at Sunbelt Rentals. Never rented from them before. They're not the cheapest by far at all, but they've got really good equipment. Always new.
Here's your truck.
Everything works. It's just good stuff.
Well, between the truck delivering the stone, which just, I can hear it backing up.
Adam brought the roller.
You have to spend the afternoon reading the manual on this thing.
Yeah.
You're gonna have a busy day.
I'm gonna get back in the skid loader. I know how to run it. All right, got another load of number 3 rock here. Now, here's the deal with this situation. I got to take this way back there in the woods. I could go hook up to my dump trailer right now and use it, but I only need about 12 or 13 bucketfuls to get to the end. So I think I'm just going to hop on the skid loader and run it out there. By the time I get the dump trailer and all that and move stuff out of the way, I would already be done. Once I start spreading the 2A limestone, I'll definitely use the dump trailer, or maybe even old Blueford. We'll fire it up. But right now, I want to get this on the ground, and then we will roll for a couple hours, or until it rains, whatever happens first. I got just a little bit of stone left over there. I need to clean up the parking lot, but we're gonna hop on the roller first. Hopefully we can get a couple passes in before it rains, but I just checked the radar and it is coming quick. So we'll just do maybe out back, and then we will clean up the parking lot if it doesn't pour down rain before then. All right, we had a pretty good shower there when I was on the roller, but I got this cleaned up in here. I just wanted to get, you know, what was left of that number 3 rock out of here, and I can have them start bringing 2A limestone hopefully tomorrow. And with that, I can kind of stockpile 3 loads right here, and then, you know, I'll haul it out there with the dump trailer. And then when I'm all done, I can have a fresh coat of 2A limestone on this, and hit it with Adam's roller. I'm telling you, I love that thing. I wish I could find something just like that. But when I'm all done, fresh coat of 2A limestone on here. And if you do it when you have a little bit of rain, oh, it just packs so well. It compacts. It's like concrete. But anyway, I think they're going to pick this up in the morning. So I'm going to pull it up here in the driveway. And since I'm going to do that, I'll show you what little I know about it. I can make it go up in the air. All right, so this is not a how-to video. Always consult your owner's manual. I have about 2 hours of experience with this, and the first half hour was trying to figure out how to run it. But this right here, if you switch the key to this position right here, you can control it from down here. We're going to go to the basket, which is the blue one up there, as you can see. Now we'll go over to the basket, we'll fire it up. So we're looking at the control panel here, but this section right here, I'm calling that the jib. I think that's right. And that's the boom. We're going to start it up. We'll lift the jib up off the ground, and then we'll move this over into the parking lot. Here's your shut off right here. We're going to pull that up, start it up. Now, like I said, to do anything, you got to step on that pedal. So first thing we'll do is raise the jib. As soon as I remember how. That's that switch right here. We're gonna go a little bit higher. Now to move it, we use this right here. These two buttons, they steer the two back wheels. And like I said, you got to step on that button. It won't do anything unless you step on the pedal. So we're going to step on the button or on the pedal, lift up on this collar, and we're going to move. I'll turn those wheels by hitting this button here. You're not going to win any races, but that's probably a good thing. Straighten it out a little bit. Very long machine, obviously. Okay, now we're going to raise the boom up. We'll go up in the air a little bit. Maybe spin around a little bit, but this is your boom control right here. I think this is a 45 footer. And what's nice, as I'm raising this up, it's keeping my basket flat. Horizontal, so it's not trying to dump me out, and you don't have to make any adjustments. So we are up in the air, as you can see. Nice view from up here. Now it'll go a lot higher, but I'm pretty much good where we're at. But we're gonna extend the boom a little bit. Step on the pedal. That one's a little herky-jerky. Gives you a bit of a pucker factor. That one's real slow once it starts moving. And then to rotate the whole house, everything, that's this control here, which is your boom lift, but you're going to move this side to side. So we'll step on the pedal. And we are rotating. I can check my gutters on the building from way up here. They look okay. And, you know, like the jib, we can raise it up more. You can do all kind of stuff, but it's a really, really nice lift. It is. This is like a safety thing right here. I'm not gonna pull it out, but if you pull this out or hit this, like you fall down or whatever, it hooks in here with a magnet. So if you knock that down, it's gonna stop doing anything. Here's all the, everything up here, platform level. So if you use the jib, you can level out your platform if needed. Wonder what one of these things cost. If anybody knows, let me know in the comments. I'm saying, I'm just gonna guess $175,000. That's my guess. And the problem with these is, you know, if you're to find a used one at auction, it better be a good one, because, I mean, you would have to have a company tech, I swear, work on this. There's so many safety switches, and you know, they're needed on here, but just so much electronics on something like this. I think it would be a nightmare if you didn't know what you're doing when you're trying to work on one of these things. So one thing to keep in mind, if you ever rent one of these, all it takes is a little bit of movement back there, and that equals a lot of movement out here. You know what I'm saying? Like if you back off of something, back here it doesn't seem like a big deal. Out here, when that thing's all scoped out, you're going flying. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, right now I need to take care of some things inside, and I think I'll check the radar. I do think we're gonna get a bunch of rain tonight, but that's not really gonna hurt me tomorrow. I ordered 3 loads of 2A limestone, so hopefully they'll get that here tomorrow, and probably by the following day. I think it's gonna take 4 loads of 2A. May take 5. I'm hoping for 4. So we do that. Rain won't really hurt us. We're on good rock now. All right, so this morning we got 2 loads so far of 2A limestone. He's going to get a 3rd load, but before he gets back, I want to get at least one of these out of the way. So I'm going to move Adam's roller back the road a little bit, and then we'll start spreading some stone. I would like to have taken the driver all the way out to the back, but we had a whole bunch of rain last night, and he can't get turned around out there. I mean, he could, but he's going to be in the mud and then drag that mud over top of the stone. So we'll just make room, get rid of this load, most of it, and then, yeah, maybe tomorrow I'll hook up the dump trailer and we'll haul some back out the road farther. This won't go near as far as the base rock did. It's going to take at least 4 loads, maybe even 5, to get the whole road done. But before we do that, I got to tell you a story. So yesterday I was going to take Hunter out for a chicken sandwich, and I figured I would mix it up a little bit. I took him to Arby's. They have a buffalo chicken sandwich that he enjoys. So I said, you know what, we'll go there. It's a little further away. It's probably 6 or 7 miles from here. But anyway, we get in the truck and we go out our road here to the big road. It's like a 4-lane, maybe 5 miles down the road, and it's pretty congested out there. Well, I start hearing sirens everywhere, right? And I start seeing police cars, and they're going all different directions. A couple of them went past us going the other way, and then the red lights were all screwed up. I think they have those sensors in them whenever they hear sirens or whatever. And then I saw a police car going the wrong way on a 4-lane, heading back to another road, and I saw probably 25 police cars, no joke. And they were from all over the area, and some were from down by Pittsburgh, like Allegheny County Sheriff. Some were the state police, local police, 2 or 3 of them. 25 police cars, had to have been. So we go to Arby's, and we come out of there and we're by this Eaton Park. Well, all of a sudden all the police cars start heading like down the little side street that we're on, One of them made a left turn. He had his lights and siren on, but he did pull in front of a tractor trailer. This guy's on the binders. His trailer's hopping, trying to get stopped. Didn't hit him. That cop comes down past us, and me and Hunter are just sitting there. Well, we get the light, and we leave. Then we saw some other police cars headed that direction. So I'm thinking, this is something big time. You know what I mean? I have no idea what's going on, but there's a serious manhunt happening. And I came home, still had no idea what was going on. Well, last night on the news, the local news, they had a story about it. Apparently this guy, he stole some stuff from a mall down by Pittsburgh. They said higher end stuff, and they had been watching him, and they watched him at the mall, and then they went after him, and they didn't catch him. And he came up our way, which is about a half hour, 35 minutes from the mall he was at, wrecked a vehicle, and he had somebody there that picked him up, and they didn't find him. I don't know how he did it, but somehow he got away from 25 or 30 cops. I mean, they had dogs, they had everything. And but the whole thing was kind of weird, because they never once said what he stole. They never had like a description of the guy. The whole thing was just weird. It really was. But what I don't understand is why in some parts of the country you will see 50 people go into a store and just start taking stuff, and nobody seems to do anything about it. And then here it's like a military operation, and police driving all over the place, wrong way in traffic, pulling in front of people after this one guy. It's none of it makes sense to me. I don't know the whole backstory. That's all the information I had, but that was our excitement yesterday. We were in the middle of a, who knows, he might be underneath this Diamondback bed cover. They never checked that, but I don't think so. But anyway, we're gonna spread some stone. It is starting to shape up pretty well. I would say that first load will get me out past the skid loader, between the skid loader and the roller. Yeah, I'm just looking 1, 2, probably 5 loads. But I'd actually like to see a little bit of rain when I roll this. That'll really pack it in well. But yeah, it's going to come out really nice. This is nice material right here. It'll compact really well, spreads nice. But that land plane, that's the ticket right there. You know, I was starting there at the gate. I just kind of bailed in with the skid loader, get it close, relatively close, and then you just take that land plane, get the tractor sitting flat, take your time, and you can carry a real nice grade out through here. But anyway, I think this video is going to run kind of long, so I'm going to wrap it up for now, and you'll see the progress in the next video. One more, we'll have the road all done, and we will move on to the next project. But I appreciate y'all being here, I really do, and I will catch you on the next one.